Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today's nail design is kind of focused around blue and teal. So when I was starting this design out, I didn't actually have anything in mind. I just had this beautiful teal right here from Cloud Beauty. And for the longest time, I've been kind of ironing it down and wanting to do something with it, but I constantly just kind of couldn't think of anything. So I finally got myself to, brought myself to do something with them. So I had some teal flowers as well, so I kind of brought it all together and boom, today's set came about. So I'm going to start off with applying our base colours. We've got two nails that are going to be full blue over here. And as you can see, this blue is incredibly pigmented, considering how affordable and cheap they were from AliExpress back when I got them anyways. I don't think you can actually get them on AliExpress anymore. It's the Vanalisa gel polishes. I used to get all of mine from there, actually, from AliExpress, and I feel like recently when I was having a look, they are all gone. And quite a lot of other companies that I used to buy on there are kind of gone. It was quite weird. I'm not sure what's happening, whether they just don't want to sell on AliExpress anymore or what's going on, but I do find that you can also get them on Amazon, although I don't know if you can actually get as many colours as you used to, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm sure they have a website if you really wanted to grab some. So I've got 3 nude nails, they've got 2 layers, and I'm going to sprinkle on some glitter. So usually I like to pick out a glitter that's the closest colour to the gel that I'm using. I'm trying to sprinkle it on top of. So today's pick was this one here. My glitters are from Larissi, if anyone's interested. I'll have a link in the description. It saves you guys some money, or like a percentage of a percent or something. I'll make sure to have it linked in the description, but they're super great glitters, so I highly recommend having a look and having a little quick browse there, because there's literally millions of glitters down there. There's literally bunch. So now that's cured, we can crack on with our ombre, and boy was I struggling. I don't think I've ever done an ombre French tip, so I was trying to give it a go, and you all know me, my usual way of marbling is using a sponge, but today I was like, how can I do a French tip using my sponge method with the clear acrylic and everything? It just didn't kind of work in my mind how I could go about it. So I took out my ombre brush from Madame Glam and thought, let's give it a go, and I've never liked this method. I never kind of achieved a good ombre, to be honest, but I've given it my best shot, and you know what, it actually wasn't that bad. It came out pretty smooth, especially when you top coat later. It was a really nice blend. In case you are kind of struggling with ombres and stuff, I would highly recommend picking 2 colours to ombre that are quite similar to one another. They're not, one isn't super light and one isn't super dark, because that way you have kind of, it's less noticeable when it's not ombreed well, if you know what I mean. So there's more room to kind of, get it right. So my method to get the French tip here, once the ombre is done, before curing, I'm grabbing a brush, dipping into some nail prep cleaner, and just kind of trying to scrape away the gel polish and to leave a French tip. So I'm starting at the top. The brush I picked up wasn't the best, I feel like I could have done a bit better with my brush choices. It's quite old. It's one of my super old Macart polygel brushes. As you can see, one side has like some bristles hanging out, and just, it probably wasn't the best brush to pick up. But I think at the time I couldn't find any other ones, so I just had to do with what I had. So once you've kind of scraped away and created your little French, you can always tidy up the edges and just add in more colour. So of course, right at the top of your ombre, you want one solid colour, so that way you don't have to, worry about joining up the sides, if you know what I mean. You can just go in with that blue and you literally cannot tell. So dipping your brush into the nail prep cleaner just helps you glide onto the nail a little bit better, and I feel like it kind of cleans the nail better and gets rid of all of that unwanted gel polish. And then at the end, I decided to go in with a little bit of a lint-free wipe and just get rid of some areas as well, especially the top bit. Like I said, just because it's very strong solid blue colour, I could just go in and fix it up later with it and using a nail art brush like I am over here now. So you can just fix it up, sharpen the, I think it's called a smile line, I think so. I never know, sometimes I get so confused with these words and what everything means or anything. And then so we'll do one nail like this, the other one is going to be flipped. So I've already done that in the background, so that's chilling there. And now it's time for our full bloom nails. So for this one, I had these really cool mixed hex bluey kind of glitters that I got from Larissa as well. So I'm trying to kind of use up my hex mixes a bit more. You all know I love my fine glitters. My absolute favorite is to do the sugar nail, but this glitter is so cool. It's blue, but it's got this really cool green reflection to it. It's beautiful, so pretty. And they also have other colors. You can get like pink that kind of reflects some greens, and you know, one color reflecting the other. I don't think they all reflect green, but it's so cool, and I thought it would be really cool if we add on top of this nail, just completely cover it. Well, by cover I mean it's going to be across the whole nail, but we are leaving gaps so you can still see the gel polish in the background. And then when you cure it, we'll add some matte top coat later, and it looks so cool with it being matte. You probably think I'm crazy, matte top coating glitter that's shiny, but it really creates a cool look. When the light is kind of hitting it, it creates a really cool reflection, and it's just super pretty. So this bit can be quite time consuming, especially if you're a perfectionist. I found that I probably spent the most time doing this nail, just trying to arrange the glitters, because you can see you kind of have like this medium hex size, then you get this smaller one, and I think there's just a little bit of fine glitter in there too, but I don't think a lot of that came out onto my little container there, so I had to make do with what I had. I think I do later kind of try and get the super fine out to pop that in between the little chunks that we've placed down there. And yeah, once you're happy, pop into that. I'm not sure if I told you that the gel that I'm kind of using to glue these glitters down is a base coat. So you apply a base coat and then apply the glitters into the base coat, and then you can cure it. After that, you can either use a builder gel, you can use just a couple of layers of base coat, I like to do sometimes, and then file it down to make sure that your nail is smooth. I'm not quite sure if I did that today here. I can't remember. I filmed this a couple days ago, maybe even a week or two ago now, so I can't remember if I ended up filing it, but of course it doesn't really matter too much for me because this is just designs. No one's wearing these nails. This is just to show you guys designs, different products, how you can use them, what kind of, hopefully sparking some nail art design ideas and everything. So it's not too important for me to do it, but if you're definitely doing it on a client, you probably will end up with bumpy bits if you don't file it down, so highly recommend you do that. So I'll pop that one into the lamp as it's pretty much done now. Here we are. So I've applied some Rhinestone glue gel, which I managed to actually trim out by accident. And I'm going to place some cava beads, and it feels like the longest time since we've used 4D carving gel. So today we're going to take it out and do a nail with 4D carving gel. And you can see that it's been a long time since I've done a nail like this because I'm so rusty. The flower did not come out how I wanted it. I remember the days where it was just so easy to create that flower, and today was just not the day. It just wouldn't work. I was just really struggling. But that just comes to show that practice makes perfect. So I'm just going to place a couple crystals just in a circle in the right hand side. So that's going to be the center of our flower. I'll pop it into the lamp. You can not pop it into the lamp. I'm going straight with the flowers depending on how comfortable you feel. I didn't want anything moving or just being in my way, so I just wanted to cure it quickly. So here's the 4D carving gel. I'm using white. White has been my literally most used. I do have other colors, but I don't know, just the white works for any colour you do, anything you do, the white is just perfect, so I always end up picking up the white. So I use a dotting tool to scrape up the right amount that I want. So funny enough for today, I scraped a little bit too little. So I should have actually scraped much more, but the more you use the product, the more you kind of get to know it. You know how much is too much, how much is too little. But like I said, I haven't done these flowers for quite some time now, and as you can see, it's just not going to work. I did my best. I tried to fix it up as much as possible, but yeah, it just still wasn't how I wanted it, but it was enough to pass. It was enough to pass. So you want to put 3 slightly smaller balls on the left hand side, and then one right at the top will be the larger bead, and one right at the bottom will be a larger bead as well. So you want 2 large beads, 3 kind of medium sized beads, and the reason you want the 2 at the top to be large is because that petal is going to be larger, longer and everything. But you can see here already my top ball is pretty much not much bigger than the other one, so I was already flopping here. You'll see in a moment. But yeah, with the petals, to achieve the petals, you're going to be using what is it called? A silicone tool, actually. So I dip into some nail prep cleaner from Miley. It's like this blue liquid. If you search on Amazon, that's at least where I get mine from, and I just dip it into there just because I find that it doesn't stick that way, so it just kind of works better for me, I guess. That was my little technique, because when I first started with these 4D carbon gels, I just found that my brushes were getting so sticky to that and it wouldn't kind of go where I wanted it. But now that I dip it into some nail prep cleaner, it just doesn't budge. Doesn't stick to my brush, and it just goes where I push it and just leaves my little silicone tool alone, which is great. So there we go, we've done the petals. You kind of want to push down at a certain angle to kind of create the petals, and then those long ones were a massive pain. I was just clearly didn't have enough product on there to create the petal that I was going for. Even the little ones, as you can see, the bottom right one has a little hole in the center, so I just didn't have enough product there. But I did go ahead and kind of fix it up a little bit off camera, and it was just a mess. I just feel like this whole video, when I was filming it felt like a mess. Even this voiceover feels like a whole mess. Seem to just can't talk today. So this is what I ended up just accepting. It wasn't perfect, it doesn't look tragic, but it wasn't my best work for sure. So now that it's cured, I'm going in with a matte top coat. I'm going to apply it on the nail, but of course avoiding the petals, and the petals themselves anyways, when they kind of cure, they just go matte. So there's that. And the matte top coat that I'm using is from Macart. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description. A lot of my stuff I get on Amazon, like the matte top coat and the tips and everything, they're all coming from Amazon, along with the Miley liquids as well from Amazon too. So I'm going to apply the matte top coat. As you can see with the ombre, it wasn't too bad, huh? With the brush, I was so shocked that I actually was able to do it. It's such a smooth blend. I've always avoided the brush because I just couldn't do it, hence my sponge method. It was just been my preferred way of doing it because I thought I could not do it any other way, but who would have thought I can do it? You can also do the French tip actually in another way. You can also use like those stencils, those little kind of guards, I don't know what they're called, where you kind of stick them down to give you that French tip. They're usually a kind of white colour. Not sure what they're called, but I'm sure you know what I mean. I hope anyways. So it's going into the lamp. We've got them all matte, looking beautiful. Now it's time for the crystal placement, and this nail here has got to be my all-time favourite crystal placement. It looks so cute. We've got a butterfly AB crystal. We've got this kind of teardroplet looking crystal. We've got some beautiful blue crystals. Look at those in the background in that little triangle. Oh my god, that blue is beautiful. Like so pretty. The rhinestones I get from AliExpress actually. They come super affordable. You get a pack of, I think it's 1,440 pieces, and it's a mixture of different sizes, and oh boy, look how beautiful. Like literally everything just matched so well, and that blue was just dreamy. Like it's so blue, so pretty, so sparkly. I just highly recommend them. Beautiful, beautiful. Of course they're not real crystals. I guess they're artificial crystals, or I guess they're not crystals then, the rhinestones. But they're just super beautiful, and I would highly recommend them. Love using them, and they have all sorts of different colours. You don't have to do blue. They've got greens and yellows and pinks and purples and everything you can wish for, which is great. And I feel like the more you buy from them, like at once, you get like store discounts and stuff, which is fun as well. So I would recommend them highly. I'll leave a link in the description. Try to not forget as usual. So that one's going into the lamp. We do apply caviar beads here and there. I'm not sure if I've included the caviar bead work in today's video. Then for these ombre nails, we're going to place some flowers with some AB rhinestones. So I'm kind of picking up a fairly large rhinestone. I'm going to place her at the top, and then on the left hand side you can already see that I've got some flowers. So I had some blue, and I had some blue, and I had some kind of like a greeny teal colour. So I thought, right, let me place a blue one down first, and then a tiny teal, and then we'll flip it around for the other nail. We'll do a teal big one first, and then a smaller little blue one. And then in the centre, I do go ahead and place some caviar beads in there too. But I think I just avoided the caviar beads in today's video completely. So here's the final result. If you wanted to pause it now to see where I've placed the caviar beads, go ahead. I hope you guys liked it. It's a bit different. It's quite a lot going on, but I hope you guys liked it. I love sets that have just so much going on. Love it. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I would absolutely love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.